watch this message on a radio, Layton Media owns 26 radio stations, and those stations are available where your audience is. Catch us on an app, your favorite smart speaker, or your morning commute in the car. We're here to connect you to entertainment and community. Connect with Layton Media today. Our team is ready to work for you. Layton Media, your success starts here.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good. We survived this year's snowpocalypse 2026.
Oh, we did. Yeah, the first one. And now we just have to endure the real cold. And this year, we are just not used to that.
Yeah, we've been very lucky so
We
far.
have been. So the first half of January was our January thaw. I think typically that comes later in the month, but I guess we swapped it out. And looks like the next couple of weeks are going to be cold. Next weekend, brutal cold coming in. So, get out. I got out the super big jacket today. And, you just have to really dress warm. And I can hear my dad in my head saying, now do you have your, the kit that I made you, your emergency kit that I made for your car? Every year he would make us, they came in Folgers cans.
Oh, yeah.
And every year he would make all of us new ones so that the chocolate was a little more fresh. And make sure that the matches weren't wet or anything like that.
Yep.
And so every year we would get this new emergency kit for our cars. And I can still hear him in my head. Do you have your emergency kit in your car? It's important to do that. And the other thing is, if you have to jump your car, good idea to have those cables in your back.
Yep.
Just some things to remember in this extreme cold, because if you didn't have the warmth of your car, you wouldn't last very long.
No.
So just want to make sure. And you never know when your car doesn't like this freezing cold really any more than you do. So you just never know when something happens or you get a flat tire or whatever the case may be. You want to be as prepared as you can. So I'm one of those do as you say and not as I do people. I do have jumper cables. I do have extra warm stuff in my car should I need it. And I guess we always have cell phones, but you never know then either.
Well, we had that Verizon outage the other day.
Exactly.
AT&T outages.
Exactly. So anyway, I guess be as prepared as you can because it is cold. And then the other thing is, if you let the dog out, make sure you let the dog back in because, they don't want to dance around outside very long either.
Well, Jack loved this weather.
He did, I know.
He would just sit there and be rolling in the snow. It's like, come on, man, it's 20 below. Let's get back in.
Crazy dog.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Of course, there was some good football to watch, some more good games yesterday.
Yeah, anytime the Bears lose, it's a good game. So that was
you sound like so many people I know. But they made a run.
They made a run. Last heave-ho, I don't know how.
That tied the game up, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then it was a field goal that won.
Yep.
So anyway, that's what this time of year should be about. But then there's a very controversial call in
the Bills game. Yeah.
The Bills game. Yeah. What do you think? Did you see it?
I think he was down. I don't think it should have been an interception.
Yeah. Okay. So a catch rather than an interception.
Yep. Catch and down by contact.
Kind of makes me wonder what went on when those two were grappling on the ground, too. I would guess, though, that the Bills receiver would have said, hey, he pulled it out of my hands when we were on the ground,
Yeah.
I did see a clip from him this morning, and he was practically in tears saying, I just let my team down by not making sure I caught that ball. But I don't know. That one, lots of controversy going around about that one. But the game's over.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that
they reviewed it, I'm sure.
Yeah. The other thing
I didn't see the game.
That makes that thing a little bit more painful is the exact same thing happened in the Rams Chicago game.
Oh boy.
And they ruled it a catch and down by contact.
Oh gosh. Well, anyway. Some big games over the weekend,
Yeah.
and of course 2 biggies next Sunday,
Yep.
and tonight national championship for college football.
Yep.
Miami and Indiana.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway,
Well, the ironic thing is that the game's being played being played in Miami.
okay,
You don't normally have like the home team having a home game during a national championship, but they
wow, yeah, that doesn't happen very
no.
often.
But I mean, it was set like
Long,
years
long,
ago
long
that this is
ago.
where the championship's going to be,
Right.
And Miami
Just
somehow
so happens it's
yep,
home field advantage.
home
huh?
field.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I mean, it's
so,
not, I don't think the University of Miami plays at that stadium. I think that, if I remember right, that's where the Miami Dolphins play, but it's still,
Sure.
in their hometown.
It is. So you have a horse in this race. Do you like one team over the other?
I don't have a horse in this race, but
Just
I'd like
Indiana
to see
because
Indiana because
they're
it's a Big Ten.
Big Ten school.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much where I'm at. It's a Big Ten school. Go
Okay,
Indiana.
are they the ones that has the super bold, arrogant coach?
I don't know. That's about half the coaches in college.
Yeah, I guess it is, but I think this one stands out among the rest. But
Oh yeah. Yep.
isn't that him?
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but I just know he's
I win.
super sure of
Google
himself.
it.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, and he's just had some really silly remarks, I thought, and like they asked him after one big game, so what's next? Are you gonna, are you gonna work on any certain areas? Are you gonna do this? You're gonna do that? And he said, all I want is a good cold beer. Not gonna, congratulate my team or, anyway, he's something. He's got an air about him for sure.
Well,
but
they're undefeated.
they are undefeated. So I don't know. I wonder who's gonna run away with it tonight.
I don't
Probably
think either,
nobody running away.
I don't
but
think either team's going to run away with it.
No, but that's going to be a good one, I think.
Yeah.
I do love watching college football.
I wish I could watch it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be up in Crookston during a hockey game.
Oh, I am sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Oh, you want to take cold and add something to make it worse? Going to Crookston.
Oh, it was like that when we went to Grand Forks and Thief River a couple weeks ago. It was like, negative 20 something up there.
Yuck. Yeah, no good at all. Well, more of the same over the weekend. Of course, a lot of garbage going on with regard to the Twin Cities. Just doesn't really seem to stop there. And from everything I'm reading, and again, you just really kind of don't know what to believe when you, especially when you're on social media and it's not a trusted news source. It's kind of hard to know what to believe, but pretty good bet that a lot of those protesters are in fact being paid. I thought they could put down their guns and take out some super soakers, and in this kind of weather, you get somebody wet and it wouldn't be very comfortable.
I was listening to Markley Van Camp and Robbins on either Thursday or Friday, and they're talking, if you really want to end these protests real quick, bring out the water cannon. That'll get everybody inside real quick.
It sure will, and that would do it. And there's nothing, I don't think there's any laws against shooting somebody with high-powered water. So anyway, but I suppose that would leave the streets in a bigger mess than they already are in. President Donald Trump's administration did launch an investigation after an anti-ICE or multiple anti-ICE agitators stormed a church in Minneapolis during a service yesterday.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
This is absolutely ridiculous, and this is taking it so too far. Dozens of agitators burst into the city's church sanctuary roughly halfway through the service. Attendees of the church told this to Fox News Digital, so this is a Fox News story, by the way. The mob stormed the building believing that one of the pastors is the acting director of ICE's St. Paul field office. Top-level members of Trump's administration vowed an investigation after the unrest on Sunday. I just spoke to the pastor in Minnesota whose church was targeted. Attacks against law enforcement and the intimidation of Christians are being met with the full force of the federal law. That came from Attorney General Pam Bondi in her statement. She went on to say, if state leaders refuse to act responsibly to prevent lawlessness, this Department of Justice will remain mobilized to prosecute federal crimes and ensure that the rule of law prevails. And I really believe they have every intention of doing so. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt also condemned the attack on the, in a statement on social media. Footage of the event showed a crowd disrupting the church service with shouts. Attendees of the church told Fox that agitators followed them into the parking lot as they attempted to leave the scene, with some surrounding vehicles trying to block them from leaving. Now, supposedly they're after the pastors, so they can they let the parishioners just leave and go to their cars?
Well, technically, I think you could prosecute them for a hate crime.
Yeah, probably so.
Involves religion.
Anyway, saying President Trump will not tolerate the intimidation and harassment of Christians in their sacred place of worship, said Caroline Leavitt. So, Department of Justice has launched a full investigation into the despicable incident that took place early yesterday at that church in Minnesota. And we will not rest until we are able to deliver justice. So I hope that is in fact true, because they've stepped way over the line now.
Yeah.
In addition, they are said to be now, and I've seen pictures, and again, whether or not those pictures on social media are accurate, but these far left crazy people actually standing out in the streets with guns. So now the left is against guns? That isn't what they used to say.
Well, you just said the far left's against guns. They're always against guns.
Oh, boy.
But now they're trying to use them.
But now they want to use them. Yeah. So anyway, the Minneapolis mayor, of course, he is saying that unconstitutional ICE conduct has been met with peaceful protests. Guns and disrupting church services, not exactly peaceful.
No.
And especially keeping people from going to their cars when all they want to do is just get out of the way, you know. President Donald Trump asserted in a Sunday night Truth Social post that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota should either be locked up in jail or sent to Somalia. And I would say either one of those would be appropriate, whichever one is worse. I tell you what, he went on to say there is $19 billion in Minnesota-Somalia fraud. Fake Congresswoman, these are President Trump's words, fake Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, a constant complainer who hates the United States, knows everything there is to know. She should be in jail, or even worse punishment, sent back to Somalia, considered one of the absolute worst countries in the world. She could help to make Somalia great again, he said. Omar, who has served in the U.S. House of Representatives since early 2019, was born in Somalia and became a U.S. citizen in the year 2000. ICE is removing some of the most violent criminals in the world from our country and bring them back home where they belong. Why is Minnesota fighting this? Great question. Do they really want murderers and drug dealers to be escorted to their community? The thugs that are protesting include many highly paid professional agitators and anarchists. Is this really what Minnesota wants? The president asked in a Sunday Truth Social post. So, and then he went on to say the crooked governor and Congressman Omar, who married her brother, don't mind because it keeps the focus of attention off the $18 billion plus fraud that has taken place in the state. Don't worry, we're on it, he said. We won't rest. So, and I absolutely have every reason to believe that he will move forward on that. He's not going to let this whole deal in Minnesota go.
No.
I thought maybe the cold over the weekend might force some of them inside, but, well, they did go inside a church. Maybe that was just to warm up. I did read another story, and again, whether or not this is accurate, that ICE, just as they somehow have the ability to identify ICE agents, ICE can identify some of these people who are the agitators. And so they actually lured them. They went to their own homes, not realizing, they thought they were following ICE agents, not realizing that they were actually going to their own homes where the ICE agents were saying, hey, maybe we ought to go inside here. Of course they don't, but so there's some interesting tactics going on. But, sooner or later, I don't know how long this can go on. I suppose if you're a paid protester, and they're probably paid very well, heck, You don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, you don't have any other job. This is your job. This is your paycheck.
Stand on the street and scream and yell and hold a sign and see how that goes. About 1,500 active duty soldiers from the 11th Airborne Division in Fairbanks, Alaska, are reportedly on standby for possible deployment to Minneapolis. The troops could be sent to respond to protests following the shooting of activist Renee Good by an ICE agent. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz activated the National Guard on Saturday to assist local authorities. Well, wasn't that nice of him? Now, doing anything to take the heat off this fraud attempting, or do I have to say alleged anymore? I'm not
Well,
sure.
no, because there's been people convicted of it, so it is fraud.
Yeah. And protests across Iran have slowed after more than 2 weeks of unrest. It's left over 3,000 people dead. Iran's supreme leader accused President Trump of encouraging demonstrators, calling him a criminal. Despite easing violence, analysts warn Iran's unresolved economic and social grievances could trigger renewed unrest.
I saw a meme over the weekend where it says the Ayatollah is going to leave Iran and come to Minnesota and open a daycare.
Oh, that's good. Why not? Could use one more of those fraudulent daycares open in the Twin Cities. You know, something else in the news I saw today, which I think I find interesting, and I guess there's probably good reason for it, but the Boston accent we all know, nobody uses their R's. Gonna park the car, and nobody in Boston uses their R's. Well, that is kind of slowly starting to become milder, at least, and in some cases go away altogether. And they think it's just because so many people from so many different places around the world have made their way into these American cities, and just by virtue of hearing all these different dialects and accents, that the R's are slowly coming back into those Bostonians, I guess, and into their way of speech. So, are you still going to park your car, or are you going to park your car? I don't know. We'll see.
Is
All right.
khakis, pants, or something you use to start your car?
And is it a remote or a clicker?
Clicker.
That's the other one. Later in the show, a 12-year-old takes control of a car after his mom faints while driving.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we'll tell you that. And a Florida man faces some charges actually, after a TikTok challenge that we'll tell you about when we come back on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
KBRFradio.com news. Get the news that matters delivered straight to your inbox. With KBRF Daily Headlines, you'll stay up to date on everything happening in your community. Sign up today and receive a roundup of the day's top stories all in one email. It's fast, convenient, and it's always free. From local updates to breaking news, KBRF brings you the headlines you need right at your fingertips. Visit KBRFradio.com and sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.
This is Craig Olson. Join me every Saturday morning at 8 for the Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Basketball, hockey, swimming, wrestling. I interview area coaches to discuss the season, recap the last game, and preview upcoming games. Catch the live show at 8 on Saturday morning on News Talk 1250 KBRF, and the live stream and archive shows at KBRFradio.com. Just click on Sports Streaming. The Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe.
Previously on the Under the Hood Show. When I was a kid, I had a chance to get a chemistry set.
I got
Only
the
I'd have
chemistry
known.
set, and I started experimenting with the baking soda and the vinegar thing, and how cool that was. And, of course, I had to overdo it like I do everything. And I got it on a little bigger level, and I got in a lot of trouble, and we had to buy new carpet for the living room. It was not good.
You should listen to the Nordstrom's Under the Hood Show with the Motor Medics right here. KBRF, 1250 a.m. every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Choosing the right residual herbicide can feel like you need a map. Too many choices, too many claims that never quite hold up. Enough is enough. Residual brand herbicides from BASF make the choice easy. It sets the standard for longer-lasting weed control, giving up to 2 more weeks of protection than competitors. When you have a situation in your soybean fields, Zidua brand herbicides deliver new solutions to meet your evolving needs. Make the lasting choice and talk to your retailer today. Always read and follow label directions.
Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. President Trump's interest in the U.S. acquiring Greenland continues to face serious blowback from some longtime American allies, including Canada. European Union countries are threatening retaliatory tariffs if President Trump makes good on his threat to slap them with higher tariffs over the Greenland issue. Mr. Trump says Russia and China in particular covet the resource-rich island, which is essential to U.S. national security. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry says sending active-duty soldiers to Minnesota for an immigration crackdown is ridiculous and unconstitutional, even as anti-ICE demonstrations grow increasingly disruptive. Spanish rescue crews are desperately searching for survivors at the scene of a deadly high-speed train collision that killed at least 39 people in southern Spain. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here with Wesley Financial Group. My 78-year-old friend Linda called me yesterday. She bought a $40,000 timeshare in Nashville. She was told it was a great investment and that he would personally book all her vacations. All lies. She called our sales rep, Chris, the next morning at 4:57 a.m. to cancel, and she was told it was too late. You had your chance yesterday. Another lie. She has 10 days in Tennessee. I am in a war with the timeshare industry because people keep buying their lies, and they don't want me to help you. If you need a timeshare, I'm sure one of the 3,500 people that call my office weekly would love to give you one of theirs. Or go online and pay $1 for it. But stop paying $40,000 for lies. It's time to stop the insanity. Don't wait another day.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-364-7711. That's 800-364-7711. 800-364-7711.
When a loved one passes, we understand that honoring and preserving your family legacy matters. Hi, I'm Ryan Welly with the Fergus Falls Monument Company. Creating your everlasting memorial is our specialty, and creating and crafting them locally is all that we do. Our inventory is extensive, so costs are manageable with the almost unlimited number of designs for you to choose. Your memorial preserves your family legacy with an everlasting warranty now and forever, guaranteed. Call us, visit us online at fergusfallsmonument.com. Memorials that matter.
Soda News Network, I'm Brent Palm. The U.S. Department of Justice is investigating Governor Walz and Mayor Jacob Fry for allegedly impeding ICE enforcement. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche accused Walz and Fry of actively encouraging protesters to obstruct immigration officers. Blanche also said that the DOJ will not be investigating ICE agent Jonathan Ross for the shooting death of Renee Good. The USDA is extending an order 5 years that requires bear-safe food storage in the Boundary Waters Canoe Area wilderness. Joy Vandry of the Superior National Forest says the goal is to keep the bears wild.
The order requires that food containers, scented items be hung at least 12 feet above the surface of the ground and not less than 6 feet horizontally next to the trunk of a tree.
And the Gopher women's basketball team lost to Washington 67-54. This is MNN.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at soundidouttogether.org. That's soundidouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure, sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guide to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls.
If shore lunches and backstraps are a main part of your diet, then we've got a radio show for you. Sporting Journal Radio. It's the Midwest's radio home for the outdoors. I'm Brett Amundson, and I'll get you caught up on the latest hunting, fishing, and outdoor information each week with tips from guides, biologists, and wild game cooks. Tune in to Sporting Journal Radio.
Catch Sporting Journal Radio Saturday mornings at 8:06 on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the new Fergus Now app on your phone.
News, talk, sports, and ag information. News Talk 1250 AM KBRF, Fergus Falls. Depend on it.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. It is 9:36, and it's now time for everybody's favorite, two Marys and a Dave.
All right, and we say good morning to Mary at the American Legion. And oh, Mary, we could use some good, warm comfort food this week. And I bet you're just the one who can provide that.
I think we can.
Okay. Well, what's cooking this week?
Our Wednesday special this week is scalloped potatoes and ham with a vegetable, a dinner roll, and a treat. And it's available on Wednesday starting at 11 to go and until we run out. So
okay.
Sometimes it makes it to the end of the day and sometimes it doesn't. So
okay, well, that sounds good. Scalloped potatoes and ham, that sounds like good comfort food. And by the way, Mary, you guys made the chili for the indoor sale over at Nelson Auto this Saturday. Gotta tell you, great chili.
Awesome. Glad you liked it.
Yeah, it was so good. So we're always so grateful that you guys do the cooking for those kinds of things. You make it seamless, and everybody was raving about the chili. So that's great. And, of course, we always look forward to dessert, too, because you guys have all those great homemade desserts. So what do we have for those?
For the month of January, our dessert features are we have a graham cracker pie, which has been selling like crazy. I think it's an old-time favorite that we had before COVID, and then we couldn't find meringue powder for the longest time, so we didn't have it. And now we have meringue powder again, so we can do it once again. So graham cracker pie and a cookies and cream cheesecake, and peppermint is still on our mind, so we're doing a peppermint cheesecake ice cream dessert, which has been selling like crazy as well. So lots of fun things, and then all of our regular desserts are available also.
Okay. Well, of course, I think you already kind of mentioned your hours, but your takeout starts at 11 Wednesday through Saturday, or Wednesday through Friday, I guess, and starts at 3 o'clock on Saturday, right?
That's right.
Okay. And then dine in any Wednesday through Saturday at 3 o'clock on. So, and I have to say, even though the weather was kind of ugly a couple of nights, you guys still hung in there and served food.
Oh, it was busy. It was. Yeah, we try to be open when we can be. I don't think we've ever had to close because of the weather. So yeah, it was a nice weekend.
All right. Well, that sounds great. Mary, what is the number to call if we'd like to get on the list for the Wednesday special, or we'd like to order something, or for whatever reason?
Our number here is 739-4633.
Okay. Mary, you have a great week. Stay warm.
You as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Mary from the American Legion, 218-739-4633. If you want to get on that list for scalloped potatoes and ham.
Sounds good.
It does sound really good. And, you know, I always think it would make sense even to get a couple of extra. You could always scoop out the scalloped potatoes and ham and stick it in the fridge and warm it up the next day, too.
Oh, yeah.
See? Yeah. So anyway, that's coming up starting on Wednesday. We look forward to all that good food. But, boy, they made some great chili over the weekend. So anyway, everybody really enjoyed that. I think went through a lot of it, that's for sure.
Nice.
All right, let's see what else we have for you. Okay, let's tell you about that 12-year-old. Zach Howells is his name, and he saved his mother's life by being able to grab the steering wheel and calling emergency services after she lost consciousness while driving at 60 miles per hour. Nicola Howells was 37 years old. She fainted with her foot still on the accelerator as they traveled, and little Zach steered the vehicle into a barrier to stop it and then called for help. In the emergency call, he told operators, "I'm driving on a motorway and my mom just fainted, so I had to crash the car to stop." That's amazing that he would even think of that, isn't it? He's 12 years old. Anyway, then, of course, they came and helped, and everybody's okay. And they also gave him a commendation this week from area constables for his quick thinking and bravery that protected both his mother and the other people on the road. And so nobody really got hurt. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, it is good. On the opposite end of the spectrum, some idiot yesterday on I-29 when it was closed got clocked doing 104.
Oh my, and it was closed.
Whiteout conditions.
Oh, goodness.
And the interstate was closed at the time. The shocking thing is it's only a $140 fine.
Oh my goodness.
But there was a juvenile in the car, so that meant that they get reckless endangerment.
So was it in South Dakota or North Dakota?
North Dakota.
Okay, so that's why the fine is so cheap.
Yeah.
But then to have a kid in the car, what in the world were they thinking?
Well, I'm guessing if it's probably an 18-year-old and a 17-year-old. I think they're kids.
Oh gosh.
Being stupid.
Wow. We were driving just barely west of Fergus yesterday. I mean.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, not a mile from the roundabout, and absolute whiteout. So you didn't have to go very far before you were forced to turn around. It just was really, really ugly. And it was ugly like that till 9, 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
And maybe a lot later than that I went to bed. But, boy, when I went to bed, it was just whipping. You couldn't see across the street.
Yeah, I was thinking about going out and doing some snow blowing last night, but I'm just like, it's pointless.
Yeah, we actually did it a couple of times yesterday and did it just before bed last night. And that did save me some time this morning because it didn't really drift in anymore after we went to bed. And so the only thing that I had to do is, and thank heaven, the snowplow came before I went out with the snowblower.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I probably wouldn't have had to take the snowblower out even for the plow ridge because there wasn't much there. But anyway, thanks to our plow drivers, I know that they pulled most of them off the roads yesterday, those that were out there.
I was surprised that our alleyway was plowed before I took off at 5:30 this morning.
Yep, absolutely. And then, so I had a couple of panics this morning. I thought, oh, goodness, when is the plow going to come by? But I woke up, it was 4:45 when they came. And typically they come about 8:45.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have that done early and go out there just once. But all of a sudden, I'm on my way to work, and I thought, oh, I didn't put the garbage can out. But it's okay, because today is a holiday.
Yep.
So, okay, don't have to worry about
tonight.
that. Yeah. Well, nobody wanted to put garbage cans out last night.
No.
They would have ended up down the block, you know. Okay, so there is Netflix. This is interesting. There's a new movie out on Netflix, and it's Matt Damon's movie. He's teamed up again with his sidekick Ben Affleck. Anyway, it's called what's it called? The Rip. Anyway, he has asked that they want movies to repeat the plot about 4 times when they are on a streaming service like Netflix. He said because so many people are watching on their phones that a text comes in or an email comes in and they go away from the movie or they're distracted from the movie. And so now Matt Damon thinks that those plots need to come out 3 or 4 or even more times in order for people to be able to follow along. Anyway, the Joe Rogan Experience that Netflix asks filmmakers to repeat plot points multiple times because so many viewers watch on phones. Damon and Ben Affleck appeared on the podcast together with Joe Rogan to promote their Netflix film called The Rip. Damon also explained that Netflix wants early action sequences since home viewers show very different level of attention. Okay, I will tell you on that movie, I tried to watch it this weekend, and the reason that people are maybe not seeing the whole thing is not necessarily because they have a certain lower level of attention. It's because the language is so awful. I watched it for about 10 minutes, and that's all I could stand.
Yeah, I haven't
every
bothered.
sentence, I bet, had the F-bomb at least 3 times. And it was just, I mean, way over the top. And I couldn't stomach it. I mean, once in a while you can watch a movie and you hear that and you can let it go because it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know if this was even a good movie because it was in the first 5 or 10 minutes. And I just thought, man, I can't even stand to listen to this. It was just horrendous. So if you're thinking about watching The Rip, I'm just giving you a heads up. It's full of really foul language. It was awful and not necessary. I mean, oh my goodness. I bet if you were to count up in that first 10 minutes how many times you heard the F word, it would be a lot. And again, multiple times in one sentence. It was just horrendous. So if you don't like that kind of thing, I would say do not watch The Rip.
Wow, I looked it up. They estimate over 300 uses of the F-bomb.
Like in the first 10 minutes is what I saw.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, estimates over 300 uses of the F-bomb and about 60 other ones.
It's terrible. Anyway, I mean, I can get by 1 or 2 here and there, but oh my goodness, this was just... It was hard. It was hard to even listen to what they were talking about because that came up so very often. So anyway, but that's a lot of times in the length of a movie. So maybe they ought to back off on that, and maybe people wouldn't lose attention. Let's see what else we have. Okay, how about this one? New research shows that drivers will travel distances equivalent to 63 laps around the Earth during their lifetime. Don't you feel like you do that in one day some days?
Yeah.
Especially you're on the road a lot doing these games. The Honda Commission study surveyed about 2,000 drivers, found that motorists cover more than 1.5 million miles, equal to 3 moon round trips. Drivers typically take their driving test twice before passing and own 5 different cars throughout their lives.
Wow, I'm well past that.
Yeah, me too. I've owned a lot more than that. They refuel their tanks 1,360 times and replace vehicles every 5 years on average. 15% purchase their first car at age 17. Drivers first venture abroad at age 25, though 44% have never driven internationally. I would be one of those. 28% plan to switch to electric vehicles within 5 years, despite concerns about cost and charging infrastructure. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's like I've traveled internationally, but I've never driven internationally.
Yeah,
but
me
I suppose
neither.
I can go up to Canada and drive.
I suppose you could, but at least they'd be on the same side of the road as we do.
Yeah.
But 63 laps around the sun? Gosh, that seems... And 1.5 million miles. I suppose... I don't know. I put on about... in my car, about 20,000 miles a year.
I'm pretty sure I surpassed that with a couple of Jen's road trips.
Yeah, true. You go on some big road trips. Anyway, so that's how that went. But I thought that was kind of interesting. And it feels like, sometimes it feels like you do all those miles in one day, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Those running, especially if you've got kids and multiple kids, and you are running them to maybe 3 different practices, or, before they get their licenses, they want to go to so-and-so's house, and so that you run them there. And it depends on where you live. A lot of people live miles and miles out of town. And so those miles add up pretty fast. Well, here is a person named Presley Bergmuser, 23-year-old live wedding painter from Detroit, has gained viral attention for completing ceremony portraits. Painting now. Painting portraits in just 5 hours. The artist captures the couples saying, "I do," on canvas during the ceremony, then finishes the paintings during the reception while the guests watch. So it's part of the entertainment.
Wow.
At the wedding. "I'm an adrenaline junkie to the core," this girl says. She transitioned from studio work to live painting in 2024 after a hometown request sparked her passion. Wedding packages start, you want to guess?
$5,000.
Quite a bit less, $2,500.
Okay.
So, and travel costs extra, so it depends on where you are, I suppose. Since going viral, demand has surged with up to 5 inquiries per wedding date. The farthest she has traveled for work is Texas, but hopes to expand internationally. Another super good idea.
Yeah.
That entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well, for sure. Well, Avatar, Fire and Ash tops the box office over the weekend. Again, all these movies, I've never heard of any of them. But yeah, pretty big weekend for the movies. And I suppose if you could get yourself off the couch and out in this cold, a movie would be good. But man, I sort of hunkered down after church yesterday.
Yeah.
Went to church. And by the time we came out of church, the wind was just whipping. And I got home, and that's kind of where I stayed for the day. It just, if you didn't have to go out in that, it was kind of nice not to. Let's see. Got a couple of questions for you here.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. You probably know both of these. What is Bart Simpson's favorite cartoon show?
Oh, Itchy and Scratchy.
Yeah, I knew you'd know that. Casey Kasem was the original voice of what cartoon character?
Oh, the beloved Shaggy.
Yeah, I knew you'd know those. Those are pretty easy, weren't they?
Yeah.
Should we see who's serving what today? Trader Joe's has introduced a new frozen appetizer called onion flowers, modeled after the popular restaurant fried onion starters. You know, that big onion that's all deep fried and open on the middle of your table.
And tasty.
So tasty. The product features 2 whole onions that are battered, deep fried, and sliced into pull-apart petals for easy sharing. And shoppers quickly noticed the resemblance to the Outback Steakhouse Bloomin' Onion and Chili's Awesome Blossom. And I guess they were leaving the store like hotcakes. Kellogg's introduced 3 new varieties of classic Fruit Loops: Sweethearts, Cocoa Loops, and glazed donut holes.
No, leave Fruit Loops alone.
Fruit Loops should be Fruit Loops. Cocoa Loops offer a chocolate twist on the original cereal, and Sweethearts feature heart-shaped pieces inspired by Valentine's Day candy, which, by the way, is our next holiday.
Yeah.
So be thinking ahead to that.
Guys, less than 1 month.
Yeah. You know what? For me, we don't do anything for Valentine's Day. I mean, we might go out for dinner.
It's about all we do.
Yeah. But dark chocolate is always welcome. Just saying. That's all I need.
So somebody tell John that.
Yeah, just a bag of dark chocolate. That's really all I need. And that sounds pretty darn good. All right, let's see. Anything else over the weekend that we didn't highlight?
Really, not too much. I mean, obviously, some crashes over the weekend. That was about it. And then, obviously, the storm.
Yeah,
a lot of games got rescheduled.
It was a bit slippery, too.
Yeah.
Not only did we have snow and wind that made it impossible to see, but we had ice underneath that, too. Or at least that wind kind of, that
buffered it, yeah.
Yeah, kind of glazes the street. So do be careful out there walking. I know most schools didn't have school today because of Martin Luther King Day. But there were a couple of schools who did. Battle Lake was one, and I think
Campbell Tinto was 2 hours late, too.
Okay, and both of those were 2 hours late, so I'm sure the kids are saying, ha, you made us have school, at least we're going to go late. I wonder why they must have had a snow day to fill in or something. Because typically everybody's off today, right?
I think so. I'm not sure. I think Fergus maybe had school.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I know Hillcrest did not have school.
Okay.
And typically they follow the same schedule in terms of days off. So I don't know. But anyway, if you are off today, good for you. Put your feet up on the coffee table. Have another cup of coffee.
Coffee.
I know. There's not too much, never too much coffee on a Monday, right?
No.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it is Monday again. Boy, those Mondays come around awfully
They come
fast.
very, very quickly.
Yeah. So you've got hockey tonight.
I'm on the road for hockey tonight, and then thankfully Derek will be back tomorrow. Derek's been gone, so I've been doing news, so I've been here bright and early. So.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's lots of sports on tap for the week. I know that we have games to go to, multiple games sometimes on some nights, 3 nights this week, and if you count Saturday, 4. So kind of a big weekend in basketball for us, or a big week rather. And speaking of sports, I ran into Craig Olson over the weekend at the grocery store, and it was we miss each other here at the studio because Craig isn't here an awful lot, and boy, it was fun to catch up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss seeing him, so it was great to. The grocery store is good for so much visiting.
It really is.
We took up the chip aisle for a really long time at Service Food. All right, coming up on 10 o'clock, that is going to wrap things up. Thank you for joining us, our show today and every day, brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Monument Company. Have a great day.
KBRFradio.com news. Get the news that matters delivered.